Hello, Gary Champion, psychic medium once again. Um, my wife and I were watching television the other night, and I began to smell this sort of musky, perfumey something from, I think it's the 80s, where they made those musk smells for women. That's what it smelled like. And I know she doesn't have anything like that. And I started describing it to her. And oh, I have clairalience. That's what that's called when you smell things from the other side. I don't know where the word comes from. It means clear smelling. That's all it means. Clairalience. And also clairgustant, which sometimes is if I'm reading someone and their father was an Italian chef or something, and you smell spaghetti, and this, well, you get the idea. I'd never smelled this before ever. Completely different from anything. Almost herbal, kind of an herbal thing. Anyway, so we went back to watching our program. I don't know, 5 minutes later, I said, I smell that. Isn't that odd? And we talked about it for a little bit about who it could have been. I think it's her grandmother. It's not for me. I smell things that aren't for me. I taste things that aren't for me. It's a little known psychic medium skill, I guess. I don't think it has any value. I mean, as far as giving readings, I'm not sure it does. The Claire Gustant one has come up maybe a half dozen times in 20 years where I can smell something and the person they're looking for is a cook and that was their specialty. Whatever it is I'm smelling, that was their special deal. Anyway, I thought I'd give you, and I don't know who invents these words. I have no idea. Clairaudient, clear hearing, audient. Okay, I get that. Audio, audient, clear, clairaudient, clear hearing. That's me. I hear voices all the time. Clairvoyant means clear seeing, that you see things in the future, predict things. It says a whole list of them, and they all have this name, which lets me know right away that this isn't a medium that made this up. This is some scientist wanting to quantify things with a big, long word. You know how they are. It's usually in Latin, and you can't understand it. Like lawyers, they love to talk in Latin when no one can understand them. They can't break it down to anything that's in Latin can be explained in English. There's no word in Latin that can't be. It doesn't have a counterpart in English. Why they do it? Confusion. They like to know things. It's like it's like you're standing around someone who speaks a foreign language and they begin to speak it. You know they don't want you to know what they're hearing, what they're saying. That's the only reason they do it. Both of them speak English. They do it where they don't want you. They know I don't speak whatever it is. You better speak English. Anyway, it's a whole list of those words, and somebody made them up, and they're clairaudient, clairaudient. That's not English. I don't know what it is. I could look it up, but then I'd have to do something about that, and I really don't want to because I don't really care. But it gives you a word to stick on it. I always say I can smell things from the other side, and most of the time it's a cigarette smoke in the car. It's my daddy smoking a cigarette in the car, or I'm reading someone and I smell this cherry blend pipe tobacco they don't even make anymore. I say that's what he smoked all the time. So it's a clue. Doesn't give you any. I don't know why they give you that, but they do. Maybe it's so they'll know that you're actually talking to them, or it defines them a certain way. Most people who have passed come to me and tell me how they passed. That's a defining thing for them. What illness they had and how they passed. And I'm a medical intuitive, so they want to follow up on that maybe sometimes. And that leads into reading the client about something that's wrong, some medical condition they have. And they're usually aware of it. So why all this? I don't know. They want their presence to be known. They want their presence to be known. And I wrote a book once called To the Other Side and Back. I thought it was my best book, where I meditated and I actually went to the other side and saw things I've never seen before in a way to help me hear. And all the colors were really, really bright. The green was extremely, almost hurt your eyes to see it. Um, Everything was exaggerated in some way. I don't know why. I have no clue. Claire exaggerated, maybe. But the colors are strikingly very bright. The color of their hair, their mustaches don't just look like mustaches. They're kind of odd shaped in some way. I can't describe. It's impossible for me to describe it. But the scenario set up for me were to help me move from A to B. Help me to see that my mother had, who, with her mother, they never got along. It was always a terrible thing. But now that they both passed, they get along great. They were standing there smiling, hugging each other. I thought, wow, this is the greatest thing in the world. Seeing my mother and her mother hanging out together on the other side, like it was great. You know, I mean, everything's strange on the other side. I don't know why. Time passes different. Colors are brighter. Um, and you can't really define what you're seeing in terms of what, I mean, I'm trying to. I'm saying the greens were bright. Um, that doesn't describe, I mean, it gives you an idea, but without having seen it yourself, you're just guessing as to what that meant. But the things that I did see over there, I was over there about a week off and on during the day. Would get up and type it into the book, and then just as I saw it, I did never rewrote anything, never put in punctuation or capitalized. I just wrote what I saw real quick. And I think this smelling of smoke, smelling of foods, smelling of perfumes is their way of saying, "Hey, I'm here." I think it doesn't have any more significance than that, unless you open a line of inquiry, unless you ask why, and why is something I don't ever ask. Humans are hugely curious about why. I have no curiosity about it. I have no idea why, except that I saw so many things as a child that why I wouldn't explain any of it anyway. Why did I go the other side and back? I didn't intend to. I was sitting in a chair waiting for my wife to get off an airplane. And I was going to go to the airport, and I fell asleep, and I just tripped to the other side. It was long enough that I got a whole scene about something. So I guess it was an accident, or maybe they wanted me to go there. But anyway, when you smell your aunt's old perfume that was really stinky, I mean, if you go back a couple of generations, that perfume was loud, loud perfume. And part of the reason is old people can't smell, and they'll put a little dab here and there. They say, "I can't smell that," and then they put more, and can't smell that, and then they put more and more. Pretty soon they can smell it, but it's really knocking everybody out. You get in the elevator with one of those people, and you want to get off. So it's sort of like that. It's a faint smell of a perfume or a cigarette or a cigar or almost anything. Um, Food certainly. You can taste it in your mouth, or you can smell it. Tasting in your mouth is clairgustant, and the other one is, I think I've over explained this. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.